Creatures of the night, it's your girl Tati. Let's talk about Collision. We started off with opening promos, which I love when they do. Tony Khan, we need to be doing this every Saturday night, not whenever you remember that this is something that we do. We gotta do this every Saturday night. It gets you hyped up for the show. One of the opening promos that we got was from Julia Hart. Julia Hart is basically letting everyone know that she's gonna whoop Queen Aminata's ass and take the win. And while she's talking, we do have Brody King, who is standing next to her. And they're next to Okada's dressing room. Okada pretty much just walks in front of the camera and just like, I'm taking a little TV time. I'm sorry. And Brody gets in his face and, do that little barking sound that they always do. And they end up walking away. And I'm just like, okay, we teasing a little something with Okada and Brody King. We'll talk about that in a moment. We start off with tag team action. We had Kyle O'Reilly teaming up with Roderick Strong, and they make a really great tag team, by the way, going against FTR. And I'll say this, the match was really great. Well, the matches were really great. They end up having two matches, and the first match was like, 6 minutes or so, something like that. It was really, really quick in comparison to how much longer FTR matches typically are. And I was just like, whoa, what the hell? They already won? That's crazy. So we had Dax, who pinned Kyle O'Reilly, and the referee never noticed that Kyle's leg was on the ropes. Now, when Dax realized what had happened, Dax is just like, wait a minute, we're not going to just win like that, and told the referee to run the clock back. We're going to run this back, and we're going to win fair and square. Referee at first was like, nah, we in Cali, I got other things to do. And Dax was getting really upset about it. And then referee's just like, okay, if you want to start it over, we'll do that. They end up starting it over again. But this time you can see more of aggressiveness coming from FTR, and I'm just like, oh, these bitches really want to make sure they win fair and square. However, we had Roderick and Kyle end up taking the win, and I was just like, yes, this is good, but this also leaves the door open to a third match, obviously, between the two of them. Now, obviously, Roderick, Kyle, they're happy about this win. They go shake the hands of FTR. FTR are nothing but sore losers, so they don't shake their hands and end up walking off like little bitches. It is what it is. After this, we get a video package kind of promo from Willow Nightingale. And Willow Nightingale talking about her little alliance with Uncle Adam and whoever else is in that group. And honestly, they were showing some clips of Marina Shafir, but never actually truly say Willow Nightingale is going to go against Marina Shafir. Whatever the situation is, we don't actually get a confirmation of that. But I'm assuming that would not happen at Revolution, because everyone from the fucking group Death Riders is supposed to be killed for Revolution, so that, I don't know, Adam Copeland could probably end up taking the win. Whatever situation is, I would love to see Marina actually in action. After this, we have Wheeler Yuta going against Willie Mack. Our boy Willie Mack, Lord have mercy. I haven't seen Willie since like the summertime of last year. One of the Ring of Honor shows I went to might have been the last time Willie was over there. And he looks great. He's an amazing wrestler. And I was just like, oh, okay, this is not going to be easy for Wheeler Yuta. I wouldn't call this a squash, but I feel like we got a chance to see a little something from Willie Mack, but not typically what you would see from him. Wheeler Yuta ends up beating Willie Mack, which some people was not liking. They were booing Wheeler Yuta the entire match. And even after the match, when we had Jon Moxley who comes on out there, Jon Moxley is just like, oh, excuse me, Oakland, this got nothing to do with y'all. I gotta teach my son how to get things done up in here. Goes on in there, gets into the ring. He has the briefcase as Marina is down and out and can't come to the show. He has a briefcase. He's talking to Wheeler Yuta. He's like, Wheeler Yuta, you're going to go out there and you're going to finish the job. I taught you that when you start something, you finish it. Wheeler Yuta takes the briefcase while Moxley holds up a damn near lifeless Willie Mack. And then he bops it up inside of the head of Willie Mack, and he's laid on out there. And that was it. I was just like, oh, okay, this is it. If he was really going to go out there and make a statement and finish it, maybe he would have done a little bit more to Willie Mack. But just hitting him with the fucking briefcase was all that we got from that. And everyone in town just booed Willie Yuta and Jon Moxley. Lovely. Absolutely lovely. After this, Billy Starks is backstage, and our CEO is come to the building. And here's Billy Starks coming to CEO with her title. CEO snatches her title back, and she goes on to say that, hey, Momo, she gonna whoop your ass at Revolution and take that title right on off of you. And then she throws a cup of tea at CEO. Billy Starks. Now look, I did say that I wasn't sure where this was going with Billy and our CEO. However, we did see an exchange on X with CEO and Athena. Athena is not happy about what's going on with Billy Starks, which is very surprising in a way because Athena tend to show like she don't care about Billy, but also she was showing that she kind of cared about Billy a little bit, and they're going at it back and forth on X between her and CEO. So I'm looking forward to see what's going to happen. If we're going to get CEO and Athena at some point, please, Tony Khan, please. That's all we're asking for. After this, we have Tony Storm, who's laid up in bed. She has a neck brace on and everything, and she's talking about Mariah and this Hollywood ending match and letting everyone know that this is going to be no holds barred, no disqualifications, no count outs, no rope breaks, no nothing, false count anywhere. And I was just like, yes, when you hear stipulations like this for a match, this is typically like we're done, or this is how we're ending it. Whoever wins from this wins, and we're moving on. And that's all I need. That's all I need. If they're able to make another match after that, then we're totally reaching for something that isn't even necessary. After this, Swerve went against Clark Connors. Clark Connors, Lord have mercy. If you're not watching New Japan, you're not seeing what I'm seeing, okay? This man looks so delicious. And let me not count out Swerve because he looks delicious too. They come on out there and they have a match. In my opinion, I was just like, oh damn, Clark's first time having a singles match in AEW. Swerve having this thing going on with Ricochet, so neither I felt like should lose, and where there should be maybe an interference or something to keep there from being a clear winner. But maybe that wouldn't have been the best case scenario for Swerve either. Swerve wins with a devastating house call. Okay, I was just like, holy shit. Clark Connors is not going to ever move after this. And even when Swerve takes the win, Clark is still folded up in the ring. And we have Prince Nana, who is dancing and swerving over Clark's body, which was very interesting. This was a really great matchup. I did not want Clark to lose. I don't know where they're going with having New Japan's War Dogs coming over to AEW and what that's going to lead to, but it would have been nice for Clark to actually go against someone who could have afforded to take an L. We'll see where things are going from here. After this, they showed a clip from Dynamite where MVP and the Hurt Syndicate, Lord have mercy, beautiful man, are leaving the arena from Dynamite, and here is the Outrunners running out there and say, hey look, we won our match, so we're gonna get a chance to go against you guys for the tag titles. And MVP is just like, oh well, y'all won because we kind of distracted the murder machines, so you know what, we'll give you a little title shot at Revolution, so you got a little time to eat your vitamins, say your prayers and all this shit. Because y'all not going to be winning. Now, obviously, the Outrunners, they're happy about this opportunity, but don't realize where we're going in terms of them having to go against the Hurt Syndicate. So we'll see a couple of funerals next week at Revolution. After this, we had an awkward moment where Harley Cameron is sitting on commentary with Nigel and Shivani, and she's looking to come up with a name for her finisher, and it really felt like they were stalling. They never actually go towards the ring in terms of the camera. And it just, something about this felt very awkward. We're just like, just go out there and just say something just so we can get ready for something. Whatever that was. No clue. Here's Harley talking about coming up with a name for her finisher and doesn't even come up with a name for her finisher. She just calls her finisher, that's my finishing move. Literally, that's what she called it. I'm just like, y'all wasting our motherfucking time. And you know what? Now that I think of it, they wasted our time because right after this, backstage, it's the pizza people. The pizza people from TikTok or whatever, Costco people that was there before. The daddy that had that match with QT a couple of months ago where they wasted our time. Them, they were back there. Johnny TV bumps into them. And basically Johnny told them that, hey, you know what, I'm gonna be teaming up with MXM to go against your bitch ass and two other partners of your choosing at Revolution. And I'm just like, Revolution? I know y'all not taking no fucking pay-per-view time for fucking foolishness. We'll get back to this in a moment. After this, we do have Lee Moriarty and the infantry. They are in trios action against local talent. This was a squash, but our boys end up taking the win the day after Black History Month, but we're moving on. TNT Championship. Danny Garcia versus Adam Cole. Now, while the infantry, Lee Moriarty, STP, the whole group is leaving, here is Adam Cole's music hitting, and Adam Cole ends up making his way down to the ring as STP are making their way to the back. And I was just like, you know what? If I was an STP, I'd be the first one to just stomp the hell out of Adam Cole as he's making his way to the ring. Because I know a loser when I see one. So then, while I wasn't expecting much, they tore it up. They tore it up. Danny tore it up. And I think Danny's been probably reading everybody's tweets and frustrations about the lack of title defenses when it comes to the TNT title this past few months. And he woke his ass up and had a really great match with Adam Cole. Adam Cole, baby, I'm still not impressed, even though you did pretty good with Danny. But it was really, really interesting to see that Adam Cole being put into this title picture. And I'm looking at him and I'm just like, look, I can see them putting this title on him in the future, but I feel like we need to see a lot more from Adam Cole until then. Now, just when the ring announcer was just like, hey, you know what, 15 minutes have passed and this is a 20-minute time limit, so we got 5 more minutes left, let's wrap this up. Now, that's when things start to get really intense, but before it could really go another motherfucking minute, here is STP out of the blue that come in and attacks Daniel Garcia and Adam Cole, thank the Lord, and they're attacking them. And I'm just like, this is all I need. This is all I need. This is all I asked you for, Tony Khan. And then, while they're whooping their asses in the ring, Daddy Magic on commentary like, oh no, they can't be doing this. I can't believe that they're doing this. Get your ass up and get your ass whooped too. And he actually gets up. And before he can even get into the ring, Shane Taylor took care of that. And I was just like, yes, that's all we needed. No one from, what was that group? The Undisputed Kingdom came on out there to help. And no other person aligned with Danny Garcia and whatever the hell he's doing came on out there to help. And this made STP look like a big motherfucking deal. And that right there was just perfect when it came to this match. Despite this match being actually pretty good, I'm okay with how things ended here. It was really well. Now after this, they wasted our time with the pizza people again. Turns out that the pizza dad and the son end up finding two partners for him. And that turned out to be Orange Cassidy and Pastor Briscoe. I'm moving on. After this, ladies in action. The only time ladies are in action. This is what I'm saying. The pizza people don't even need no damn TV time. We could have had more time for the girls to be doing something. And whatever. Queen Aminata, Julia Hart, part 2. They end up having a pretty decent match. I did see like middle of the matches where we see Julia Hart really holding onto one of her knees. It's like almost every time she moves, she just kept holding onto the knee. So I'm hoping that she's okay and just working us instead of actually being injured. So that would be interesting to see. But Queen Aminata takes a win here, and rightfully so. Right before the match, they did show that Serena Deeb, she's going to be having a Pure Rules match at Ring of Honor with Queen Aminata, basically saying, Queen Aminata, I've taught you some things. I hope I can see that tonight in your match against Julia Hart, whatever the fuck that means. Now, right after this, though, I said that Julia was holding on to her knee. Brody come on out there and he's checking up on her. And that's when Okada came out of the blue and attacked Brody. And I'm just looking at it. I'm just like, Okada, what the fuck are you wearing? That suit that Okada's wearing, he can fit a whole nother person in that suit with him. And it like the pant of the shoe was all the way up to his fucking chest. And I was just like, bro, this shit don't even fit you. What the hell are we doing? That $14.5 million you got for that contract is not going to the suit budget. Like, what is going on here? Whatever situation it is, the suit is not important. But We're most likely going to get something with Brody and Okada at the pay-per-view. Honestly, probably not. Now after this, I'm just like, where the hell is Kenneth? Because I know we were supposed to hear from him tonight. Y'all know Kenny Omega didn't even come on a motherfucking show. He was literally like in some dressing room from God knows where, addressing things between him and Uncle Don and Takeshita, and how he's been out for over a year. He has time to reflect on things while Takesha's been moving on up on the ladder. And that, you know what, that is true. Takesha been moving on up. And, basically saying that, he's been watching, he's been hearing everything, and he wants that title off of Takeshita. He's like, you over here parading around with Takeshita, and the best way for me to get back at you is to take the title off of him, and that he won't fail. And he goes, if he can't take the title off of Takeshita, then he shouldn't be ever going for any titles ever. And when he said that, that's all I need to hear to kind of confirm that maybe he might end up winning against Takeshita. And I'm just not ready for it at all. Main event, we have Powerhouse Hobbs teaming up with Bandito. Apparently, Powerhouse Hobbs is from Oakland, so everybody's making noise for our boy. They went against Big Bill and Brian Keith. And I have to say, thank goodness. Thank goodness Chris Jericho wasn't here at all. That's all I needed. This was a really fun main event, and letting these guys just go out there and just doing their thing it's great. I'm happy that we're still getting something here between Powerhouse Hobbs and Big Bill. I had wanted their match to be at the pay-per-view rather than it being on just regular TV, just to make a bigger deal out of this young talent and getting a big moment for the two of them if it would have been at a pay-per-view. Bandito, very different style from Powerhouse Hobbs, but they still complemented each other in the ring. We're seeing a little bit more cohesion between Big Bill and Brian Keith. Brian Keith didn't even come out as a bounty hunter. I feel like at times Brian Keith, as long as he's part of the learning tree, he's going to be the bad apple for the most part, but whenever there's a bounty to collect is when we'll see him dress up as the bounty hunter. So that right there, I'm not entirely happy about, but whatever. And they gave us a pretty decent match for the main event. Now, Powerhouse Hobbs, he looked like a fucking $1,000,000 out there, ending up taking the win here, which I really did enjoy. Now, we did go like a minute or two into overtime, and the second the match was over, I mean, like the bell rung, and you just kind of saw them raise their hands, and the damn show was off. And I was just like, well, what y'all rushing to get off the air about? I don't know what it is. Now, look, on TV, maybe I get it. But on Max, it kind of feels a little bit strange when they kind of pull the plug so abruptly like that. Another thing I do want to mention is that during the show, they were talking about how to purchase the Revolution on pay-per-view. They mentioned Triller TV, they mentioned payperview.com, but they did not, from what I remember, mention that, hey, on Max, this is part of the subscription or whatever. I didn't hear that. I did not hear that at all. And I kept trying to pay attention to whenever they were talking about the pay-per-view to hear like if that's something that's part of the subscription. And honestly, I still can't confirm. All I can confirm is yes, Triller TV, yes, payperview.com, but I did not hear anything about that. If you guys know anything about that, let me know. I'm going to put a little more research into it to see if that will be the case. But honestly, I still can't confirm if that is part of the Max subscription. I did check on Max after the show just to see. All I see is just past pay-per-views. They even show like upcoming Collision and Dynamites, but nothing about at least Revolution that is going to be coming up in literally a week from Sunday. So that right there is interesting. I would hate to have to pay anything other than being part of the subscription for Max, but we'll end up seeing what happens with that. Overall, I thought it was a good show here tonight. I think lately, we've been seeing more positive reviews in terms of AEW as of late, and all we need, Tony Khan, is for you to just stay on that for fucking ever at this point. And obviously, have a really great pay-per-view next Sunday. Guys, thanks so much for watching my review. I will be back on Wednesday with a review on Dynamite. See you guys then. Bye.